day for the Redneck Garage. Continuing the restoration series on the Toyota 88 model Hilux four-wheel drive pickup truck. In the last video we learned that everything about this wasn't religious or holy except for the floorboard. Okay, scratch that. It's got a hole in the floorboard that we need to fix. Figure out why it's there, what's going on, how are we going to fix it. Let's take a look at the steps needed to keep from being Fred Flintstone-mobile with our feet hanging out the front floorboard. I sprayed some navel jelly on it. I let it sit for probably about 30-45 minutes, I guess. I'm going to scrub it real quick and then spray it off, and we'll let that dry. Alright, so I got all the navel jelly washed off of that, and we're going to let it dry, and then I'll take a look at it, what it looks like. Awesome. Okay, I've used navel jelly on it. It's pretty good and dry. Got most of the rust off. So now I'm going to use some Eastwood rust converter. This stuff works really good. It's going to turn black as it dries. It takes about 8 hours. And then I plan on, once it turns black, putting fiberglass over it, letting it rip tater chip. Alright, now I just gotta let that dry. So it's been raining all morning. It finally dried up. Came out to look at the truck, see if it's ready for the fiberglass, and I can see, as you can too, that there's water. Right here, there's a little puddle. See right there, that puddle? And it actually ran to right here in the middle. You can kind of see that. So what does this tell us that there's water in here? Well, it means that there's a water leak somewhere, probably up in this windshield channel or somewhere up in here. I need to find out where that water is coming from to eliminate that. Everywhere else in the truck is dry, so there's a leak somewhere over here. Won't slow us down, but we are going to have to fix it. Alright, so all the Eastwood stuff dried really nicely. And what we're going to do is, I've got one piece of fiberglass I'm going to lay in kind of like this across, and then with a couple more pieces running long ways and one right here. And we'll see how that comes out, but that should cover up most of the, that should give me a good base for that hole. Alright, I got the chrome off of the windshield, which is good. Even though I know it's leaking, I haven't found the exact spot. I'm going to try to probably get a new windshield for it, because over here you can see it's kind of delaminated a little bit, and that may be where the water comes in. Heck, I don't know. That's weird. But I've got a new windshield gasket coming in that eliminates that chrome metal trim. And you know, if you went to buy that metal trim, it's like $500 bucks. Forget that. We're gonna get the rubber one and that should fix it. I may try to get a new one. Well, not bad for our first pass. We'll let this harden up and then see where we need to put a little more fiberglass. I know I need to go around the corners on that a little bit, but other than that, looks pretty good. All right, so the patching of the holes with fiberglass turned out actually really pretty well. It hardened up super. It's nice and smooth. I put up another layer on it, and I'm going to do the same for the outside of it. Treat it, clean it, treat it, and then make sure that it's covered in fiberglass. And then the next thing is, there's a leak somewhere. And if you're going to buy these, it'd be about $500 for the set of them. And I found a company that makes a rubber gasket that goes around the windshield. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take the windshield out, put the clean everything, make sure there's no leaks, put the rubber gasket on, and put it back in. It should eliminate that problem, I hope. Lastly but not leastly, I think I found a junkyard about an hour away from me that may have a seat. I'm having a hard time getting them to answer me on the phone, you know, whether they have it or don't have it, so I may have to just drive out there, but I believe they do have one. They also supposedly have a windshield for an 87, so that would be awesome. I'd have an extra windshield and a seat that can be recovered to match the interior. So hopefully that's coming up. And lastly but not leastly, according to all the counts that I have about the questions on the wheels that I put up on the last video, I guess we're leaving the aluminum ones. The steel ones got some votes, and I still like steel wheels, but it very much seems like there was more votes for the aluminum wheels that are on the 90A, I think it was a 95 Tacoma and up. That'll be the wheels we're using on it. I appreciate everybody responding to that. That was super cool. Any questions, comments, suggestions, post them below. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.